If you want to heal in areas whereby you feel like you were rejected, you feel like you are abused, you have to sit with yourself and be like, why am I feeling this way? Your behavior sometimes is triggered by certain things in your life. You don't feel guilty about treating yourself nicely and celebrating yourself and having a party, even if it's a small win. To other people, it seems like a small win, but to you, it is such a big win because only you know how much time, effort, sleepless nights you had. Therefore, you are allowed to validate yourself in that. We need to allow other people to tell you a little bit of who you are, and then you yourself decide if that is the intention of how you want to be seen or how you prefer other people to kind of like view you. Not everyone needs to accept what you believe in, but if what you believe in makes you live a fulfilling life and makes you happy, go for it. You know, there are people in our lives, they're not really horrible people, they're not bad people, they're just not fully aware of themselves, they are not self-aware. You can call some of those people narcissistic people because they are not fully aware of what their actions are impacting other people. They are in for themselves, to gain for themselves, to feel themselves in, and not fully aware of how what they do affects other people. When it comes to self-awareness, it is something that is essential for your personal growth. If you want to grow as a person, as a human being, if you're on your healing journey, you want to become better in everything that you're doing, you have to first of all be self-aware. And self-awareness is not something that every single person has. It's something that we have to a certain degree, and it's something that we keep learning every single day. There is no person who walks this earth that is 100% self-aware. If you find them, please do share them with me, but it's not something that we fully have, but it's something that we need to a certain degree, to a certain extent, in order for us to become better people for ourselves, better people for the relationships around us, and better people in things that we want to achieve and do in life completely. So this video is all about self-awareness. We're going to be talking about types of self-awareness, how you can become self-aware, and different things that you can do within yourself. Let's not confuse self-awareness with self-consciousness, because some people say research and study has showed that, you know, self-awareness is also entwined, or it's like a twin to self-consciousness, you know, knowing yourself internally, of how you see yourself and how other people see you. But we'll break it down. We'll explain. I'm also going to be talking about the archetypes of self-awareness. You're going to question yourself, because when I was doing research and I was reading about this particular thing, this particular 4 types I'm going to talk about, I was like, I'm this. Then I was like, no, I'm this. Then I'm this. Then it made me fully aware that in different situations, in different scenarios, in different parts of life, there is a level of awareness that I have and a level of awareness that I do not have. Anyways, before we jump right into this video, do not forget to leave a comment down below. Let's have a conversation. Let us talk about it. Let's talk about self-awareness, and let's have this kind of back and forth conversation. My next video will be about purpose, so just hold on to that. Once you finish this video, you will be having a video on how to find your purpose, because I know a lot of you guys have asked that question of how to find your purpose, and I will not disappoint. Anyways, let's jump right into self-awareness. This is how I personally describe self-awareness. I think self-awareness is the ability to internalize your emotions, to understand how you're feeling, how the way that you're feeling is affecting your internal environment, understanding your behavior, your character, your weaknesses, your strengths. That is how I call self-awareness. And I also say self-awareness can be an external thing, how you find yourself in different environments, how your actions, your words, the things that you do around you affect other people, you know, in different situations. There are people who are absolutely very arrogant. There are people who are absolutely very narcissist. There are people who say things, speak things, and are not fully aware of how their words impact other people. I'll give you an example of a place where I kind of work. In this place where I work, there is someone that is a very authoritative person that has a commanding tone, and the way they speak is very commanding. But when you tell them that the way you're speaking, the way you're explaining things is really authoritative and is very commanding, and in this world that we live in, we're not like in the Hitler situation whereby he was very commanding and very narcissistic and very authoritative. We are in an era whereby we speak, we ask, we give people choices and stuff like that. But this certain individual is not aware of the words that he says, the things that he says, and the impact that he has on other people. That he says, I have no problem I just asked you a question, I just said this, and I have every right to say that. But then you're like, yes, you have a right to say whatever you want to say, but are you aware of the impact of the tone of the things that you're saying to other people around you? So that is what I personally call self-awareness. Okay, I don't know if I've explained it in that very way, because if you're not fully aware of yourself, it affects your behavior in different situations. Most leaders have a higher percentage of self-awareness compared to non-leaders. That's what the study says, and it's factual, because you cannot be a leader if you're not fully aware of the things that you say, or the things that you do, because the only way you can lead is knowing that the power you have has an impact, or it can move certain mountains in your life. So when it comes to self-awareness, there are two types of self-awareness that I always talk about, that I know that I've sort of researched on and I've niched down. There is internal self-awareness and there is external self-awareness. Now, they are very self-explanatory, but I'll explain them to you again. Internal self-awareness is being sitting with your own self and internally knowing how your emotions are, what your passions are, your thoughts, your feelings, your strengths, your environment, how your conscious mind is sort of working with your own self. That is like internal self-awareness. Then there's that external self-awareness, which is kind of like how other people perceive us, how our words and how we act and how we react in different environments is perceived with other people. And sometimes you're not fully aware of your own self. You don't understand the impact of your words, your actions, your physical body, your mental sort of way affects other people around you. And it's so very important that you can keep the two at balance, because if you are not fully aware internally or self-aware within yourself, it's hard for you to sort of understand your emotions. It's hard for you to sit with your emotions. That's why it can drive into things like anxiety. You can drive into things like your mental health, all those kind of things. Your feelings, your behaviors, your character are a solid part of your own self and a solid part of your personal growth. You cannot tell me that you want to heal, you want to be better, but you're not fully aware of those feelings that you're feeling. If you want to heal in areas whereby you feel like you were rejected, you feel like you were abused, you have to sit with yourself and be like, why am I feeling this way? If you're feeling sad, you have to sit with that sadness and understand, why am I feeling sad? Being more self-aware. Your behavior sometimes is triggered by certain things in your life, so you have to be fully aware of where that behavior is coming from, why you are behaving that way, why that thing is triggering you, why you're reacting in that way, why you're not reacting to that thing that you should react to, but you're not reacting to it. Maybe that thing is not something of value, of never seen as a problem, but why don't you see it as a problem and other people sort of see it as a problem? And honestly speaking, it's something that I always say that it's a difficult thing to tangle, but once you get onto it, it's just the most satisfying and most beautiful thing, So let's talk about the self-awareness archetypes. There are 4 that I really did a research on. Number 1 is introspectors. So I'm going to ask you a question. Are you an introspector? Let me explain what an introspector is. Introspective people are these kind of people that know who they are. They know their own views. However, they do not question their own views and their own opinions. They do not seek any sort of opinion from other people. And this can be something that can be very damaging to their relationships and can limit their own success. Next one is aware, and it's the complete opposite of introspectors. These are the people that are fully aware of who they are, what they want to accomplish, who they want to be. They seek opinions from others. They allow other people to question their own views. And these are the kind of people that turn out to be leaders. These are the kind of people that they call people with good leadership skills, because they are fully aware of themselves. They're fully aware of who they are. They ask opinions. They look at the blind spots in the things that they are saying, and they try to correct those areas. Number 3, seekers. And the question is, are you a seeker? Because seekers are not fully aware of who they are, not fully aware of what they stand for, or they are not fully aware of how people around them see them. And because of this, these are the kind of people that tend to feel stuck, frustrated with their performance, with their relationships, because they are not fully aware of who they are. They are not fully aware of how people see them, or they don't really care, and they feel stuck and frustrated, and they never move from one stage to another stage. They're just there and they are just stuck. And number 4 is pleasers. We have got a whole video about validation and pleasing, so you can go and watch that. But who is a pleaser? Pleasers are this kind of people that can be focused on appearing a certain way to other people. They overlook what matters to them, what is important to them, against what other people want. So they focus more on serving others rather than serving themselves. The kind of people that over time they tend to make choices that serve other people that don't serve them, and they lead to the success and the fulfillment of other people, but not for you. So out of those 4, which category do you fall in? To be honest with you, I feel like I have a little bit of all the 4 in one. So with everything that I've said, you're questioning yourself and you're saying, okay, how can I be more self-aware within my own self? And we're going to talk about that. So in order for you to become self-aware, there's certain things that you have to sort of identify within yourself. And the first one is identifying your emotion. Identifying your emotion starts by asking yourself questions of, why do I feel this way? Sitting with your own self and saying, I feel a certain type of way, but why am I feeling this kind of way? What is triggering this emotion? When you sit down with your own emotions of how you're feeling and saying, why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling this kind of way? It helps you to sort of identify the patterns, the behaviors, the things that are causing you to feel that kind of way. But you have to sort of identify your emotions. Don't rub them away. If you feel sad, allow yourself to feel sad. You know, if you feel happy, allow yourself to be extremely happy. For me personally, when it comes to feeling sad, I can cry here in my bed. I can be sad. I can cry on my eyes out. I'm like, why am I feeling this way? And I'll just watch Netflix and then I'll be okay. But I've allowed myself to feel that way. And most cases is about my journey and what I'm trying to achieve in life and my kind of success. Like the other day, I think 2 weeks ago, I was crying. I was bawling my eyes out. I was really sad. I didn't want to talk to anybody because I was feeling like, why am I doing this? Why am I not achieving the things I want to achieve? I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in the effort. I'm showing up. Looking for someone who is consistent and will always be there even if they don't see any results. That is me. Someone who does not sleep on themselves. That is me. Someone who works hard. That is me. But the results are not matching up. So I was really sad about that. But I sat with myself and I said, I'm feeling this kind of sadness. I'm feeling this kind of emotion because I want better for myself. I see myself being a better person. I want to achieve better. I want to help more people, more ladies, more men, more people in the younger generation. I really want to help them, and in order for me to help them, I need to reach as many people, and I'm not getting there. And I also need my own satisfaction of having money, having treating this as a job and being very stable in that kind of perspective, and it's not working out. I think that was what was making me feel that way. But when I identified that, it allowed me to know that I love myself. I want more for myself. Therefore, that's why I'm feeling that way. So it's important to kind of like be fully aware. Like, I'm not aware of why I'm feeling this way, but why? So it's really important. When it comes to happiness, be happy. Don't feel guilty about treating yourself nicely and celebrating yourself and having a party, even if it's a small win. To other people, it seems like a small win, but to you, it is such a big win because only you know how much time, effort, sleepless nights you had. Therefore, you are allowed to validate yourself in that way. You are allowed to celebrate yourself. And do not be ashamed of celebrating yourself because you deserve it. You alone know it, not anybody else. Okay? I think I've gone about for such a long time on that topic, but identify your emotion. Other one is practicing mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is something that is now a current buzzword. Everyone is talking about mindfulness. Everyone is talking about how to be more mindful. And it's something that we're taught when we're young. When I was young, for sure, I know for sure my aunties, my mom, people who are my primary caregivers, they always told me, be mindful of others. Be mindful of other people. Don't be too selfish, Be aware of what you're doing that is going to affect other people, the words that you're saying. That means being aware of your thoughts, the judgments, the environment. Because even being mindful is also being open to receiving, what other people perceive of you, what other people say about you. It allows you to grow as a person. I have this thing in my mind that I always say that you cannot grow by your own self and thinking that I am like this and this is who I am. You need to allow other people to tell you a little bit of who you are, and then you yourself decide if that is the intention of how you want to be seen or how you prefer other people to kind of like view you, in a different way. So I always say this, that in growth, in our personal journey, in our healing journey, you need to allow people to come in, and you need to allow people to kind of like respectively say what they see about you, what they feel about you, like how your energy is being perceived, you know, through your craft, through your work, through your everyday life. It's really so important. You know, being mindful can lead to emotional intelligence. Allowing sometimes people who are better than you, people who have done things greater than you, to kind of like put perspective into your life can help you to become a little bit emotionally intelligent and be a little bit mindful of, you know, your actions, the things that you do. You have to be mindful in your everyday life, because if you're not mindful, then you create this kind of like energy, the negative energy around you and around people that is kind of like, that person, that human being, you can't say anything to them, because when you say something to them, they're going to give you an attitude, they're going to react a certain kind of way. Exploring your values and your beliefs is also very crucial to being self-aware. Exploring your values and your beliefs. If you do not know your values, if you do not know what you believe in, what you stand for, that means that you just do not have anything in your life that is a boundary. You don't have anything in your life that you believe in. You don't have any value. You take anything, do anything, receive anything, give anything. In order for you to live your authentic self, you must understand your values. You must understand, what do you value more in your life? What are things that you can't go 50-50 on? What are things that you cannot compromise on? What are things that you require in order for you to live a fulfilling life? You know, you have to be fully aware of those kind of things. And also what you believe in and what you stand for. What you believe in doesn't have to be something that everyone needs to accept, you know. Not everyone needs to accept what you believe in, but if what you believe in makes you live a fulfilling life and makes you happy, go for it. This next point is something that I would say to you that I personally have tried, but it's not for me, but it's for so many people. That is reflecting on a journal, writing down your thoughts of how you feel in that very moment, pouring them out there and journal. Let me tell you why personally I do not journal at all, and why I struggle with journaling. Okay, I've bought so many journal books. Every year, every first of every month, every first of every year, that's the 1st of January, I got into this mood of like, I need a journal, I need to start a new habit of journaling. But I personally do not journal. I don't enjoy journaling. I don't enjoy the process of journaling, because, background story, I lived in Africa. I grew up back home in Uganda, and we didn't have any technology at all in our schools. It was not something that we had. So in school, we had to write down every note, everything. You know, if you could not afford to buy textbooks, that means that you had to write down everything. They write them on this blackboard with chalk, and then you rewrite it back in your book. So my hands and everything are kind of like bent in. So I wrote so much that now writing is not a joy for me. It's like a command for me, because it was a command in school that I had to write. It was a command to me that I had to have notes, and my notes were checked. I would have like books, you know, like let's say biology. I have 4 books of biology that I have written with my own handwriting for a full whole year. So for me, journaling is just like, it's a command, you know, for me to do it, to write down. It's like a command. So I don't do it, and I don't enjoy it. I don't find pleasure in it. However, I kind of like sit with myself. I talk to myself quite a lot. I talk to myself and I say, oh my God, Lucy, today you're feeling like this. Why are you feeling this way? Talk about it. Like, talk about it. If it's something that I need to remember that is very crucial, I put it down on my notes, I put it down on my Notion, and I remember that. That's how I do it. But scientifically, or research, or everything has proven that, you know, journaling is something that is very important, because so many people do journal. They enjoy journaling. They find that journaling helps them, you know, take things out of their mind and put them down on paper, like offload, that kind of thing. But for me, it doesn't work. If it's for you, you need to try it, because that's another way that you can put down your emotions. You have to approach life with a sense of curiosity and openness. Be willing to explore new ideas, be willing to explore new things, be willing to be in new environments. Step out of your comfort zone, because you need to challenge yourself to be fully aware of what can you do in life and what you cannot do in life. You will never understand what your weakness and what your strength is unless you challenge yourself in things in life that allow you to know what your weaknesses and what your strengths are. I can tell you, one of my very big weaknesses that I've just really discovered this year is that I'm really bad at coordination. I cannot choreograph myself. When I'm doing classes in the gym, because we have these virtual classes and so many people in the sort of the teaching sort of side of it, you know, teaching us on this side, I cannot coordinate. Like, they're going left, right, I'm going right, left. They're going this way and that way, I'm going the other way, that way. Like, my coordination is really bad. So that's kind of my weakness, and I'm like, I need to work on that because I can't follow a certain format. I need to do more research about that. But that's a weakness that I kind of discovered, and I only knew that when I started taking myself for these classes. I know I can dance, yeah, but can't do things on instructions of wave this way and then turn it and twist. I'll just do, you know, how I see it is how I'm gonna do it, but it's not the thing that is happening. The other point about self-awareness is, please pay attention to what other people are continuously saying about you, not in a malice way, not in a way that is coming to hurt you or harm you, but things that people continuously say around you that are there and there. Like, for example, I gave you an example of this gentleman where I work that is continuously, people are always mad when they work with him, people are always crying, people are always angered, people are always like on edge, people are always triggered, and all those people have said something about it, and it's the same exact thing. This guy is not aware of what he said. I feel this way, he said something this way, but if I explain to him, it feels like he did something right. And for him, because he's not at the stage of fully being self-aware, the pattern of people saying all these things about him all the time, it feels like people are very jealous of him or people really don't like him. But the fact is, like, sit with yourself, understand what these people are saying, because it could be detrimental to yourself. It could be something that maybe could allow you to heal and be a better person if you just kind of listen. There's so many people that say, I don't care about your opinion, you're just trying to put me down. Not everyone in life is trying to put you down. Some people are trying to uplift you by telling you the truth, but just because you don't like that truth, it doesn't mean that it's not true. It doesn't mean that it's not true, honestly speaking. So I want you to kind of sometimes listen to a pattern of what people are saying. It could be bad. It doesn't have to be good all the time. It could be bad. And if it's bad, work on it. With this, you know, channel, and we being honest and talking in a very honest way, I'll tell you mine. It's kind of like this thing whereby I kind of keep quiet. I enter in a room, I'm just like, I don't smile. And my facial expression just sometimes shows that I'm disgusted, sometimes shows that I'm angry and mad. And all the time, every guy that approached me, everyone is saying, they're like, oh, that girl who is very mad, or she's very angry, or she's very, like, she's ready to fight us, or she's ready to beat us. But in actual sense, that wasn't a feeling I had. I was just kind of like that kind of person that kind of kept quiet and just kept to myself. It wasn't because I was angry or mad and I was in this kind of state. But when people continuously told me that about myself, it hurt me, but it made me a better person. That when I walk in a room, I kind of say, hello, how are you? Or hey, or how is everyone? That kind of thing, just to start with that energy. So when you see me quiet and mad in the corner, you just know that that ain't me. That is just part of what comes with me. If that makes actual sense. But that's what I'm trying to explain. It wasn't something that I was ready to receive, but when I received it, I kind of understood, like, you know what, Lucy, your physical body language is not good at all. You need to work on your physical body language, because you're missing opportunities because of that. But anyway, that's something that I just wanted to say to you, that listen to people, take in what they're saying, then you can become a better person, because self-awareness is part of personal growth and self-growth. And I always say that if you're asking people what they bring to the table, you have to also work on yourself, what you can bring to that table through your personal growth and your life, you know. So guys, the next video I'm going to be talking about purpose, how to find your purpose and how you can sort of achieve your purpose in that kind of way, because purpose is a broad thing. But for now, I'm going to end this video right here, and I'm going to tell you that thank you so much for watching this video. And I know many of you have fully learned from this, are going to become more self-aware, more conscious about yourself, and becoming better yous, okay? Because honestly speaking, like I said, nobody is 100% self-aware, but at least we have a certain degree of self-awareness that carries us around to become more confident and more better people. I'll see you next time. My name is Lucy. Bye.